Hi guys, welcome back. I'm Danny and this channel is all about solving home decor dilemmas with a DIY. So today's a little bit of a different I DIY all kinds of projects from crafting to painting to wood builds, big and small, but the most common questions I get asked about on the internet is around wood builds and what kind of tools to invest in if you're just starting out and you don't really know where to start. So I thought, let's make a video about it and talk about it. I should preface that I am not an expert, I am not a carpenter, I am just a person who loves to build her own solutions with crafts or with wood, and I've been figuring it out along the way, just like you guys at home. So I've picked up a couple tips and tricks along the way, and I'm very excited to share with you, so let's get to it. So the first tool I want to talk about is drills. Now, there are a lot of different types of drills out there, so you're wondering what on earth should I invest in and what is best for me. So I'm gonna break down the types of drills that are out there and then talk about what they do, and then you guys can decide which one should you be investing in. So the first drill that I'm gonna talk about is the hammer drill. A hammer drill is really great because it is so versatile for multiple projects around the home. It can drill holes and screws, but it also has one other special thing about it that sets it apart from the other drills, and that's its ability to drive holes through harder substances like concrete, brick. So if you're going to be drilling through something like brick or stone, you want to make sure that you're using something called a masonry bit with your hammer drill. Essentially, a masonry bit is designed to smash through an object versus cut through an object like a regular drill bit that's designed for wood or plastic. This is basically like the Hulk, and it smashes through rock. And a lot of the time, if it's like this drill, it has the ability to turn into a regular drill versus a hammer drill. So a versatile drill like this is a great investment because you're going to be able to do so much with it. So the next drill we're going to talk about is an impact driver drill. I always say that an impact driver is really great for a home DIYer who likes to build decks or outdoor furniture. They're really not built for precision. When it comes to something small or dainty, like if you're building a desk or something that you really care about the outcome of the project, then this is not the drill for you. Really, you only need an impact driver in high torque situations where you need to drive really big hardware. That's loud. It's very powerful and it's very fast. And the nice thing about it is that because it has a little head like this, it's really great for changing out bits quickly. Other than the other drills where you gotta loosen it, put in the new drill bit, and then tighten it again. This is like a fast. It's fast and furious. Fast and furious drill. So the last drill that I'm gonna talk about is the small cordless driver, or as my mom calls it, the lady drill. Which I find slightly offensive, but only because it's so lightweight and it's such an easy drill to hold. I don't know why I'm like packing a punch here. I'm like, what am I, like shooting it off? Like, bam, 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 bam. This is a really great drill for just simple everyday projects around the home. It's lightweight, it's easy to use, but the reason why I love it so much is because of its size. It's very versatile for multiple DIY projects when you need to get into tight spaces. As an example, when I was building Alexandra's shelf, if you haven't watched that video, I've linked it right here, you should go watch. But this was really great because it allowed me to get in between each shelf to drive in any of those pocket hole screws. So if you're a DIYer at home that you're not going to be doing crazy big builds, then I totally recommend a small drill like this. All right, let's move on. The next tool I'd like to talk about is the Jig Saw. If you guys have watched any of my DIY videos, then you know how much I love this tool. One thing to know about this tool is that you can get different blades that cut through different material types. I love that it creates curved and intricate cuts in the wood. You can cut circles, triangles, squares, zigzags, options are endless. I don't even know what to say about it. I just love it so much. If I could marry a tool, I would marry you, Jig. Also, because it's so powerful, you want to make sure that you're clamping your project down. Now, I don't talk about clamps in this video, like, at all, but we should probably add clamps to the list of things you should own. At least 2. So the next tool that I'm going to talk about is the circular saw, or as some people call it, the skill saw. Because you need some skill to use it, if you know what I mean. No, you don't. So this was the tool that I found the most intimidating when I first started DIY, and mostly because it's just really loud, it's kind of scary because it has this crazy blade on it. But I will say this, once you learn the proper in and outs of this guy and you learn the safety around it, it really isn't that scary at all. All circular saws come with a guard that looks like this. Essentially, this is just keeping your hand safe. But when you go to cut into material, it has this little trigger here which you can use to push the guard out of the way. Now this will naturally start to push out of the way as you're going through your material, but it is nice to actually like push it and guide it because it can get stuck and you don't want that. This is a really great tool for cutting lots of wood if you don't have a lot of bucks to invest in a big miter saw. Essentially, if you have one of these, then you don't need one of these. Also, what's really great about circular saws is that most of them come with a plate that allows you to tilt it so you can create angled cuts too. And then on your plate, there's going to be a guide that's going to tell you where your blade's going to cut. So you just want to line your guide up to the line on your board, and this is going to tell you exactly where your blade's going to be cutting on your piece. And the last most important thing about a circular saw is that it comes with a safety switch like this. So if you try to turn the circular saw on, it's not going to go. Essentially what the safety switch is you have to be able to push that in first and then your circular saw will turn on. It is super loud, but don't be afraid of the sound. It's got more bark than bite. But just be safe because then it could bite. It's not scary. You're just loud, like me. The last tool I'm going to recommend as a great starter DIY piece is a disc sander. These guys are relatively cheap to buy, but they're so great because they're easy to handle. I like the discs on it that you can buy. Most sanders like this are built with Velcro tops, like so. So it lets you put on sanding discs, which are super easy to apply and change out when you need to. So this is just a really great tool to have because it's small, it's handheld, you don't have to plug it in, it's easy to put away. If you're gonna be sanding, make sure you wear a mask so you can protect your lungs and your sinuses. The biggest thing you need to know about sanding is that you always want to sand with the grain, not across it. So easy. So let's talk about just general things that every DIYer should own. The first one is safety glasses. So guys, be safe, wear safety glasses, and protect your eyes. They're not cool, but I mean, what are you gonna do? You need to be safe, protect the eyes, because you only got 2, and that's it. So just be smart. Other things to invest in are earplugs, or if you have noise canceling headphones, those also work too. But make sure you're protecting your ears because tools can be very loud. Long or extended exposure to tools that create sounds that are 85 decibels or louder can start to cause hearing damage. There's a rule that if you need to yell to be heard at an arm's length away, then it's probably too loud and can cause hearing damage. So be safe, understand the safety around the tools, but also use things that are going to help keep you safe. Next thing in every great toolbox is, of course, a measuring tape. Even if you're not a DIYer, I think everybody should have a measuring tape because there's always something that you're going to need to measure, whether it's a room, a body, you know what I mean. Just kidding. Numbers haven't always been the easiest for me. Something you don't know about me is that I'm very dyslexic. So something about the Ryobi tape that was really handy for me was the ability to see all of the smaller fractions within it. So when you're first starting out and you're learning about all the measurements, it's really great because it outlines it for you. Over time, you'll start to pick it up like it's second nature, and you'll be able to pick up any measuring tape, go, oh, that's 7/8, no problem. Bam. Of course, the next tool I'm going to recommend in your kit is a hammer. For obvious reasons, it's super great for little projects around the house, DIY projects, hanging up pictures, just general things that you need. A hammer is there to save the day. Another thing you want to invest in is a really good screwdriver. Now, I like a screwdriver like this, which is basically like a multi-purpose screwdriver. It has an open head like this, which has a little hexagon fitting. And this allows me to use multiple bits in one screwdriver. So it's really handy instead of owning like 5 to 10 different screwdrivers that have one purpose. This guy allows you to use all of your drill bits in one device. And that's pretty sweet. So the last two things I always recommend having in a general toolkit is, of course, a level, because if you're hanging a shelf or you're building a desk or you're just creating, I don't know, a bench, you want to make sure that it's level. So this little guy is going to come in super handy for you. This is not level. And then the other thing to own is something called a square, or some people call it a triangle. It's built at a perfect 90-degree angle, so they're gonna make sure that your project is as square as possible, so you don't have a lopsided project. Oh, it's so straight, so straight. I promise you, if you have one of these, you will use it. You will use it. And this. So if you're starting a toolkit of your own, I totally recommend those tools as a place to start. Now, if you don't want to spend a lot of money investing in tools, there is a better solution for you, which is doing some research online to find your local tool library. What you can do is just rent the tool that you need and then bring it back at the end of the day, or you can rent it for a weekend, whatever works for you. It's a really great solution than having to invest full time in a tool and then having to keep it. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it just a little bit helpful. Like I said, I am not an expert. I'm coming at this video from a place of my experiences as a DIYer and the tools that I found helpful through my journey. And let me know if you found this video helpful. Do you want to see more tip videos like this? Let me know in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. Some would say I'm pretty level-headed. I am really good at this. This is like a talent. That nobody needs.